My name is Gaydos. I'm a senior studying history and economics dual degree. I also have a nonprofit leadership and management certificate that I completed with Donna Anderson through the Engaged Learning and Community Involvement Center. But I also work for the Center for Global Engagement as their student worker, a global ambassador, a global diplomat. I oversee the implementation of the Global Village program. I'm in charge of the entire living learning community, which is housed in Yorktown, which I am also in charge of. As a lead community advisor, I oversee Yorktown and Marshall Halls. And then I'm the vice president and a founding father for Phi Mu Delta Fraternity, where I oversee all the chair positions, a lot of our conduct board and judicial affairs, and then a lot of our off-campus outreach programs. I knew that college wasn't working for me right around December of my freshman year and decided to do something about it. So I left. I went and met the Center for Global Engagement. I met Jennifer Kramer, and they convinced me to go overseas, to go to Paris, and I studied abroad. And really it was that experience that got me involved in foreign policy. I came back. I came back directly from being on my own for almost a month and a half, and went straight back into classes and knew that I wanted to get involved and somehow give back to the Center for Global Engagement. So I went and asked them if they just had a simple job, and I became one of their student workers. I did basic tasks, but from there I really got to know about some of the opportunities they had and became their global ambassador, and then a global diplomat, and then a global mentor, and then I became a CA where they put me in the Global Village, and it was just it just built onto, each step built onto the next. So global ambassadors, they work with new international students. For their international orientation for international students is different. They come a few days later than the domestic students. They come for a training program. They'll get acclimated to the US culture and classroom culture. So the global ambassador's job is really just to be that first American that they meet. And then the global diplomat is the person who's in charge of the training for the global ambassadors. The Young African Leaders Initiative, it was started under President Obama. I got involved really because I worked on the program at a different internship prior. So I interned at Global Pittsburgh, which is an international exchange organization here in the Pittsburgh region. And they were partnering with Duquesne University to bring a cohort of these Mandela Washington Fellows here to Duquesne University to study. So I got to do their homestay placements and interact with the program, get to know it a little bit. Well, in November, after my internship had ended, the State Department application opened up for that next summer to apply for the same position. In DC, I was working obviously at the Harry S. Truman building, which is the building where the U.S. Department of State is housed. I was specifically working in the Educational and Cultural Affairs Office, which is a sub-bureau of the department. Within that, I was working within academic exchanges as their intern working on YALI. So once you complete your internship, your supervisor has to alert you to this program, which means obviously your supervisor likes you or not. And then you have to apply. They'll read through your application. They'll actually solicit you to send information about your school. So I had to do an analysis of RMU, and they will actually decide whether RMU is even eligible. To know that after all the hard work that I've done, that something like the Department of State for the federal government has selected me to back me up and say that, yeah, this kid from Western PA who grew up in Uniontown actually kind of knows what he's talking about, I'm honored.